Welcome to Compatriots Family and Community Life Reorientation. This is the program that is aimed at rebuilding the broken walls of values in our communities and families. I remain your host, DJ Muddi. Today, we are continuing with our subject, parenting. And our topic for discussion is tackling the challenges of raising an only son. Tackling the challenges of raising an only son. We told you that an only son is the sole male child among many or multiple siblings. And we also told you that raising an only son to become responsible and successful in the society is quite rewarding. But that task requires a very deliberate effort of both parents. This is because an only son, as we told you last week, stands a chance of getting spoiled, especially in this part of the world where we tend to place high values on male child than their female counterparts. We went further to identify some common challenges with most only sons, as well as providing some tips for raising an only son. You can watch the complete video of last week's program on our social media handles. Our Facebook handle remains the Compatriots, the Loyal Magnificent Compatriots Club of Nigeria. The Loyal Magnificent Compatriots Club of Nigeria. And our YouTube channel is the Compatriots Club Nigeria. Compatriots Club Nigeria. Today, we have a guest in the studio by name Mr. Olaleye Olayinka to continue with our discussion on the topic, tackling the challenges of raising an only son. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me on this studio.
Thank you, sir.
To be here. And then I'm also greeting our listeners and viewers. It's a pleasure for me to be here this afternoon.
Good. Yes. Mr. Olaleye Olayinka is from Osun State. He attended St. Peter's Catholic School, Ibadan, for his primary education and went to Bishop Onabanjo High School, Bodija, for his secondary education. Olaleye Olayinka is a graduate of physics science at University of Ilorin and also has a master's degree in experimental solid-state physics at the University of Abuja. He is an only son of his parents, a loving husband, and caring father of two. He is the CEO of Chaphet Freedom Prints and Chemicals Limited, a life coach, and a minister at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, in Abuja. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me on the studio, sir.
Yes, sir. Is it true that you are an only son of your parents?
Yes, I'm the only son of my parents. My father is bearing Mr. Olaleye, and my mother is Felicia Olaleye. They are all staying in Ibadan. Me and my father have already married first wife, so he didn't give birth to a son. So marry my own mother. My mother have to be that one died. So marry my own mother as a second wife. Then my mother gave birth to me, And then my father married third wife. That one gave birth. They gave birth to a girl also. So my father was searching for boys till old age came and he left this present world. So I happened to be the only son among many girls, and I also came from a polygamous home. So when I was being brought up, it was really challenging, both spiritually, physically challenging. But all in all, we have to thank God that we are alive today.
Good. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So how does it feel to be an only son? How does it feel?
You know, let me start from our upbringing. You know, if I don't know people that have been to polygamous, either we like it or not, there is competitiveness in polygamous.
Definitely.
And every child
is
very important to their mother.
Yes, sir.
Either we like it or not.
Yes, sir.
Though my father does not show it like that, he loves everybody because he's the one that gave birth. But our mother is the influence. So my mother show, if everybody knows that I'm a favorite to my mother, or at least I'm a favorite. Even some people does not know that. So their closeness was so close that some people does not know that my mother have another child, and I'm not the first, second. Sure, you get it now. So everybody's looking at but she has another child. But because of the clothes, anywhere I am, I can't go far. I can't go many places because she always keep eyes on me. But my father just take us all as equal and great. Then another thing I always look at is at the background and in terms of upbringing is that, for my own perspective and general perspective, is that we are all equal, but our responsibility differ. But when we look at it in an African context, we always think that male child is more superior. But not. In terms of responsibility, that's the only thing that makes us to be different. It's the only thing that makes us to be different. Because look at this modern day now. Is there anything that a boy can do that? A woman going to school, study any courses? A gay child can also study it. But in African perspective, we give more priority to a male child. And if care is not taken, there's a lot of things that can spring up for a male child when you are growing up. Because my father is a very strict person, but my mother is not strict. So you can't do anything anyhow. My mother can overlook a lot of things for me, but my father cannot overlook it. That's what I discovered as I'm growing up as a child.
Actually, that is what the next question I actually want to ask you in that perspective, that definitely as, one, you are not just an only son in the polygamous family, and among multiple sisters. So definitely, and as you said, the love will actually be, especially your father, being the background, you said he married the second wife also in a search for a male child. The search is very, very important, and I know that both your father and your mother will not take, when you come, your arrival was so important, much important for them. And they can actually say that this one, our eyes must be on him. And you have given us a brief feel of how you feel to be an only son. But I believe that there must be certain aspect of your upbringing that you might want to share with us, so that other people can actually pick it, especially in the perspective of our only son. You have actually started by giving us that both your mom and your eyes were on you, or as if you were not just the only son, but as if you were the only child. But so, is there any aspect that you want to actually share with us if you're growing up?
I would like to share the area of upbringing, and let me just come to the area of discipline.
Yes.
Let me take that discipline, because when we look at our society now, one of the things that is lacking behind is discipline.
Yes, sir.
There's when you look at the Yoruba perspective, there's a certain rules that you must not do. If you do this, you have to do. Like, for example, let me talk of greeting. Let me pick greeting as first instance. In the morning, it's the younger one that greets the elderly one.
Yes.
If being the only child and being the only one, if I wake up in the morning, I did not greet anybody, there's a responsibility that if my father and my mother did not talk, our neighbor will talk. Here you get that.
Yes,
this boy is too proud, though. When you wake up in the morning, you didn't greet anybody. Then your mother will react. Then your father will say, okay, go and correct that thing. Don't worry, we are growing up. You know, it's not like this kind of environment that we are growing the 3-bedroom flat, you and your family. No, you are growing up with all your siblings. Yes, many of your uncle, someone that is even older than your father may be around that place. So he has ability to correct you. If your mother fail or your mother just pretend as if she doesn't see it, then people around can correct you. That's number one. Number two, in terms of going to school, you know, all of us started going to school at the same time. We are going to school, and you know, our mother have a lot of influence on us when we are going. So when we come back from home, if we check everybody, but the way we check me is totally different. If you check me, even when they say this place is not paying me, if you say it's paying you, let me check you. So that emphasis and caring is mostly, no, our father may not take it the way our mother would. Our mother will take it to the extreme end. That's number one. And two, when we are growing up, you know, there's some decision we have to take. I'm growing up. At a certain stage, let me leave this my parents. They don't want. Like, for example, now when I left university, I still came back to my father's house. Because my father went, hey, I don't want you to stay outside. But I got to certain stage, I said, no, I can't be living this kind of life. I have to leave. And it's not matter what it have to do with currently sometimes say, I'm going, I'm old enough to leave this house, to go and live on other places. So it's, when we are growing up, it's more, how will I say, it's more emphasis. Our parents take more care, extra care, mostly when we are the only child, the male child in the family. That's what I discovered.
Okay. Now, you see, one of the things that just picked from what you are saying now is you were privileged to have grown up in the time where the responsibility of raising a child in the society wasn't just for the parents, but for the society.
Yes.
At that time, both your neighborhood, everybody in the community, you know, has the responsibility to ensure that a child behaves well. But you know, that is missing. Now. That is missing. Now, you see, of nowadays, every child is left for his or her own parent. And they are the one that, in fact, it's not just the society that have failed, even with the parents. Because sometimes if your son, you know, go out, maybe school, and return and complain and say, my teacher just disciplined me or something, some parents may even take it upon themselves to go and quarrel the teacher and say, why, what will you do that? Why will you punish my son? Why will you do that? You know, so everybody want to let me live everybody. Okay, so that is one. That is good. Secondly, I have met with good numbers of responsible sons. I mean responsible son, the responsible only sons.
Yes.
You are one of them.
Thank you, sir.
I've met with good numbers of them, and I have discovered that most of them attributed their successful upbringing to their mothers.
Yes.
They attributed their successful upbringing to their mothers. Yeah. So I want to ask you, how do you think mothers play an important role in the upbringing of their sons?
You know, when you started saying our own African content, you know, when you look at the child, the joy of every woman or every woman is to have a male child.
That is it.
But thank God now, because of Christianity and civilization, everybody that you don't have a male child, you can see the other thing. But you know, our the way I look at it, our mother always think that when they have a male child, it make them to feel comfortable and secure
in the home.
In the home. That's number one. And then, so in that case, they try to transfer that love. Or let me just digress a little bit. Let me just, I don't know whether you hear this of this Moroccan player that all his words he was giving to his mother. You know, biblically it's wrong. From a Christian perspective, it's wrong. I'm not supporting the guy. Biblically, your wife and you are one. But see, if our mother have influence in us, many people will be blaming that Moroccan guy, that Moroccan player. if you are close, if your our mother, if you see influence of our mother, before we can say, let me take another opposite side, you are going to be a mature, your mind will have been matured to a certain level. See, people are blaming that Moroccan player because maybe I read a little story about that guy. He said all his family, all his siblings have to stop school because when the mother discovered this guy is a star and he can play ball very well. So all his brother and all his sister, they have to stop. So he's only one that all the family invested in. So later now, God helped the woman and God helped the player. He became popular. So 4 years before he married that, he had been successful. He had been playing another club before he came to PSG. So and all the property he has, he put in charge of it. Normally, that's an influence of our mother because of that closeness. And another perspective, I also look at it from my own perspective that if you have a girl child is more closer to the father, while a male child is a little bit close to the mother. I don't know that philosophy, I don't know. But in reality, mother always close to the son in order some certain decision to take. And that thing, and it has an effect. Maybe later I will still talk about it. I will talk advantage of it, and I will still talk about it, at least now, to my age now. I'm closing to 50 now. So where I can predict, I can tell you what happened when I was under my parents, then after I left my parents, and what happened between my siblings.
These are the things we actually want to hear.
So I will still tell you, see, when we were under our parents, we enjoy a lot of things. As in when I was in secondary school, when I was in universities, I don't lack anything. See shoes, see school fees, go to school, and by the grace of God, I'm performing better. So it gives my mother encouragement to do more for me. But it has an effect.
No, we can still go ahead, before we actually go to the advice, of parents. I still want you to see, the issue of mothers. We have discovered that most times, as I told you about the testimony of most only sons that I have encounter with, they will tell you, why you are not like, you say, no, me, my mother, you see my mother doesn't play, no, my mother. So you discover that if an only son spoiled in court, most time is attributed to the mother.
Yes, exactly.
If an only son, is well behaved and responsible, most time is also still attributed to the mother. Just like you have said, your father just try to balance but the mother, she's because of the emotion, maybe because she carry you for 9 months,
but she carry other people.
She carry other people too
for 9 months.
But that first point you raised.
Yes.
Mothers of only sons, most times they see that son as their major security in that home, in that marriage. So they are not only protecting you, when they are going extra mile on you, they are also doing it for themselves. They are seeing it that they are doing it for themselves to secure their marriage and their home. So they actually go to that. Now, your advice to parents with only sons out there.
Like now I'm matured now, I can take decision of my own. Is it my advice for the mother is that they should do what is right for a male child. You see, if a male child is doing something wrong, they should look at the future. Like example, if a male child is misbehaving, the mother have to bring him down. Okay, let me give an example. Honestly, I don't know the importance of school until I get to maybe 100 level. Because where other people are playing, if I tell you when I started primary, people will say, how old am I? Because the time I started primary, I'm supposed not to start. Because my mother is working. She's a civil servant. So 6:30, you have to leave house. And then before 6:30, I've already taken beds. You have eaten. You have put on uniform. Just take you by hand. To 7, they will drop you in school. And that to 7, you see other children. Some of them are still sleeping. Some of them are still doing other things. So when I was in primary, there's nobody that doesn't know me because I'm already with gate man. He's already dropping with gate man in the school. I will count it. It is a punishment now. 6:30, you're already in school. The same thing in secondary school. So I advise them, please, they should prepare a male child spiritually, physically, academically, and mentally. Very, very important for a male child to succeed. So our mother, I'm just begging our mother that please don't take us far beyond, because we are still going to be responsible to the society. This is life. Spiritually, this is what God wants to say about you. You are a father, you are a mother. Then two, in terms of academic excellence, in terms of working, that you are going to be the head and you must provide. Because see, the challenge most of the male child have, they will stay long with their parents. For them to take responsibility is very, very difficult. Where other girls, the girls are doing better. I've seen where the only boy is not successful, it's only girls that even feeding him at all the age. And they have money, we send him money. They don't want, no. They should prepare us spiritually, physically, mentally, maritally, that we are the head. And we have responsibilities to do. So I'm just advising them, our parents, to do that for us. And let me also tell us this thing, that is, and when a male child is getting to a certain age, they should be giving him responsibility. That's make a lot of. Okay, let me tell you an example. High school, I went to primary school in Ibadan. I went to secondary school in Ibadan. When I was going to primary school, there's nobody that doesn't know my mother. When I was going to secondary school, the same thing. I have opportunities. I told my friend that the university I want to go to University of Abuja. But I told my friend, I said, I won't go to University of Abuja. He said, why? I said that my mother will be coming to that university every day, or 2 weeks. Once she didn't see me like she's coming, she will carry her bag and say, I'm not seeing this way at all. I'm going to go and meet this way. And I told my friend, I said, I'm going to University of Ilorin. It's Ilorin. I don't know. Before my mother can say, come to Ilorin to come and meet me, we have already finished semester. Why? Because I wanted to take a decision, positive decision on my own. I want to take positive decision at not bad decision, not at influence of my mother. So it's always like, I pray our mother should just help us to develop us. As one that is only son, because it's going to, one day or the other, he's going to marry, he's going to live, he's going to go academic. So if he's not well brought up, it's going to be flock up. And I pray that God will not make us to be a flock up child in Jesus' name.
Amen. You know, last week we actually were identifying some of those challenges and actually providing some tips as you are given now. You know, we talk about overindulgence, we talk about overprotectiveness of the mothers, over interference in the activities and the affairs of your only son. You know, we discussed those, and thank God, just as you are giving that example, your decision to, you were from Ibadan.
Yes.
And your decision not to go to University of Ibadan. One, you have discovered that because I'm an only son, if I go to this with the kind of love I have with the bond I have with my mother, if I go to this school that's very close here, my mother will constantly pay me visit. And I know it's a tough decision. It was a tough decision for you, but you made it. But can I ask you, when you told your mother, or you told your parents that it's not University of Ibadan, but the University of Ilorin that you will go, what was their reaction?
It's not. It's a.
Their first reaction. When they
like my father doesn't have issue. It's my mother. My mother just say, no, that place is true. And that time, I don't know. I don't know whether they advertise Ibadan Ogbomoso road. That time is a very, very narrow road, and that road is very, very narrow that time. I don't know now because it's been a long time. I've been. We used to depart from Ibadan to Oyo, to Fiditi, from Fiditi to Oyo, from Oyo to Ogbomoso. That road that time. So no. But I make her to realize one thing: I can't be staying with you for a long time. Because when you get to a certain stage, maturity is coming. They go. And I thank God for 1 year I cope. 2 years I cope. Like, okay, you guys now becoming a big boy now. So it will be allowing us to take a positive decision. And I'll still talk about another critical issue I want to talk again. Is when it comes to our marital issue. As the only son. So when I was with my parents, my Christianity life, let me just bring a crack joke. When we used to fast, let me be that we're talking about that, our pampering. And so when we used to fast, they would declare fasting, say we should fast. But I discovered that if I fast at 3 o'clock, My body, I cannot able to carry my body is weak. And then they are cooking. If I tell my mother, I say, please give me food, I want to say, it's enough. That person you have done is enough. I come and carry food. He said, no, you are already done well. Where the other people are trying to sit. The other people are trying. So, when I go to University of Ilorin, I didn't hear that dry fasting before. It's only 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that's 6 p.m. By 3 o'clock, I'm already, even 12. When I say, I'm tired today, I say, well, give me food, though. He will give me the food. But when I go to University of Abuja, I didn't dry fasting. In our church that we are on the fellowship, I say, which one is dry? I say, we know it for the whole day. I say, wow. So the first day, I miss it. The second time, they are doing it. I said, let me also participate. And thank God I did it. And it did not do. But if I'm with her, I can't try that. I will not eat for the whole 24 hours. See what happened? What am I praying? What is that thing that's bothering my mind? That I want to go for 24 hours fasting and prayer. 72 hours. You say, what is the problem? I should tell her first now, before the kind of that. Which kind of problem am I running after? That you are going for 24 hours. But when I was in the campus, I was all those things that I have to keep my hand and keep my heart and keep my body. Let me also, when the guests are doing, let me also do it. So it's our parents should, and then when it comes to the living house is another issue, and when it comes to marital issue, I'm just begging our mother. Our father doesn't usually have that issue, but our mother will have to beg them. They wanted to decide for us. Thank God, me and my mother we try to manage the situation because I have to explain to her that's what we call the will of God. If go and look at Holy Song. 75% of their mother is in their marital issue. And that is why by the time that marriage stays for 15 years, they are going to have it. Like me, how do I test a marriage? Well, a little example. If I can say somebody is successfully married, to me, you will have stayed at least minimum of 10 years with your wife. Sure, you get it now. So, I have to explain a lot of things to my mother. Though my mother is coming from Orthodox churches. And then me, I joined Pentecostal. So we have a lot of issues. Like I have to explain to her what they call the will of God. My mother doesn't know what they call the will of God. That you see a wife, or I help you to see a lady, and I gave it to you, and I've checked the character of that lady. The lady is okay, the lady is not bad, and she's coming from a good home. And I've checked, even I've told her mother that my son is having interest, but I want to take it. No, but good that we are coming from the Pentecost. We're not telling your mother that you have to pray, you have to believe the will of God. God have to tell you, and you have to see the will of God. It brings. Like me and mother, we have a lot of issue on that. I have to take time to explain Bible scripture that say that this is a will of God. This is what they call it. My mother says doesn't know will of God. Say we marry my father, he doesn't pray, just a brother I say, and they marry each other. That today they have been living together for more than 40, 50 years. So where did I get that will of God? I have to try to be explaining that there's what they call the will of God in marriage. So that one bring a lot of strained relationship between me and her. But later on, we said to it again. That this, okay, you can have said that that's what they call will of God. And today we are continuing living our life.
It means one of the area that an only sons need, to prepare their mind. But though we are talking on the advice, this advice you're actually giving to parents out there, parents of especially an only sons. In the area of marriage, you have to manage it very well. And you have to give your son opportunity to develop himself, to learn independence. Especially just like how you left home. Okay, having advised the parents out there, there are two categories of only sons that are listening to us now. Two categories of only sons that are listening to us now. We have the first category are those that are still under their parents. Young boys that are still under their parents, under the control of their. In the last week edition, we were addressing the two categories of only sons parents. We are saying in this same category that there are parents that their sons are still with them. And then there are some that are already grown up, and the mothers, the fathers cannot do anything about it again. For instance, those that are still very young, under the tutelage of their parents, they are still under, care of their parents. What is your advice for them if they are listening to you now? Those that are still young and under their parents.
What's my advice for them?
Yes,
is to learn good aspects of their parents.
Okay.
See, they should learn good aspects.
Okay.
Of their parents. And our parents,
parents, you can talk to them.
The parents too.
Yes.
Should teach the children.
Mm.
You know, why is it this society that we find ourselves? And we have been saying moral decay.
Mm.
Moral decay, I say that is caused by the parents.
Good.
Like me, I have to say it.
Okay.
Because when the child is giving birth to, but the parents have seen ahead. I think you have passed through some things before you give birth to that child. So I want our parents to teach us what they call normal value, societal values. I want our parents to how to greet, how to talk in the public, how to. Our parents are supposed to teach us. See, all those ones that are with their parents and begging on our mother and our father that please teach your children good values. That will make him to be more. See, behavior, attitude is everything. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Once you don't have an attitude, either you are a man or you are a boy, then it's our parents that need to teach us attitude. How to respect the elders, how to talk to the elders, how a lot of things that our parents need to do teach us, apart from our academic. Because some parents will be like, when you are, see, I was because of you may have first class academically. If you don't have a good moral background, or you don't have good behavior or good attitude, that first class will be as if you don't go to school. You don't go to school. Both of them, both academic excellence must be matched with attitude, good attitude. Yes. See, okay, are you to tell, okay, if you have a wife at home now, is it everybody will be telling your wife, my wife is in first class? You know, but when people come, they see her attitude, they see her behavior, they see what that's what I'm begging on our parents to teach us. And they should teach us the good moral values of the family and how to talk to the society. Because a potential nature is a leader.
That is it.
It's a potential, you are going to be a father. And if you are going to church, one day you are going to be a leader.
That is it.
That is good. So please, our leader, our parents should look ahead. Those of us that are with their parents now, that you please, our parents should teach us good values.
So if somebody said the parents' responsibility is to teach, because in fact, teaching your children how to behave is one of the responsibility of a good parent.
Yes.
Teaching them how to behave well, good moral is one of the responsibility of a good parent.
Yes.
Now, as a child, you have your own responsibility.
Yes.
What should be the response of a child? It's one thing. There is an adage that said, it's one thing to take, a hose to the water, the stream. And it's another thing for the hose. You can take the hose to the water, but you cannot force the hose to drink.
Okay.
And the analogy I'm trying to say is that there are some parents that are willing and they are doing their best to make sure they teach their children. In fact, specifically, we are talking about sons, and most importantly, only sons. Okay. Because of the privilege that an only son occupies in the home, in the heart of the parents. That's what we are talking about. Now, it's not every only son that will see discipline as a good thing. We will see corrections when the parents are actually trying to teach them. They will say, to see that my parents is helping me. Why? My friend's parents, he's an only son too, and his parents are pampering him. They are doing it. Why is it that you are always hard on me? That will be their position. For if you are to advise that young man that is seeing the discipline and the teaching as punishment instead of discipline, he's not seeing it as good thing. What will be your advice to him?
Let me just pick it from that your proverb.
Yes, sir.
You see, I may be wrong, but let me just tell you something.
Yes, sir.
75% of character a child, either male child or female child beats, go and look at their parents. Because our child or a boy's child learn more. You know, it's informal.
Yes, sir.
The character of the father with the character of the mother mold both together mold a child.
Yes, sir.
Here you get it now.
Sir.
See, in a bringing up a child, you don't need to write it on paper. Good. Once a child is seeing what my father is, okay, for example now, if you go and look at anybody that is drinking now, is either the father is drinking or the mother is drinking. Yeah. Forget about social value or peer challenges that make everything to be wrong now. Once in a while, maybe they mix with the school or you mix with your friend. Yeah. But when you are growing up, when you see that when you wake up in the morning, you used to read Bible, you used to pray, you used to do evangelism, and the child is looking at you. The male child is looking, and you are the only child. You discover that number one, you have learned prayer from that house. Yeah. It's not the training of a child is not formal education; it's informal. You look at what your father is doing. Okay, let me give an example. Yeah. Go and look at the first son or the only child. They always do the profession of their father. Yeah. Why? You see that? You see that what my father is doing is this. Because they are learning what their father is doing. If your father is beating your wife, go and look at that child. He will do it. So the first teacher a child needs is parents. That is why the values must be placed on the parents. I have a child. One of my child, anytime he wants to wake up now, when he wants to come, he used to see me in church preaching. He used to see me outside. Anytime he come to us, one day just come say, "Pastor, stand up." And I did not say pastor, but you just need to see me that I used to kneel down. I used to go to church. Sometimes you see me preaching in the church. Sometimes where and our mother were just started laughing. Say, "Pastor." See, child, when it comes to values, family values, the husband and wife, the character they depict at home, not outside. The child is watching it. So he has a value. It's now I say I'm begging our parents. You know, I'm a product of that. Yeah. If I know what I learned from my mother, I know what I learned from my father. Sure, you get it. That even the way they are bringing this is bad. This is bad. Sure, you get it now. This is not good. My mother will tell you point blankly that this what you are doing is not good. Let me give an example. We are not. My mother after I give birth, we don't have many child. We not many children like that. Only me and my sister. But my mother is somebody that love many children. So she went to go and bring all her siblings, all her sibling children, and brought them to our house to be growing up with us. And that time, if you put your food like this, equal food. My mother will give both our own biological children and all those other younger, all our sibling children. She will give us all. Me, I'll be getting angry. One day, she had to sit me down and say, come and sit down. I want to, Olayinka, come and sit down here. I want to tell you life experience. I'm doing this thing for you. I'm doing this because I'm making them to be comfortable when they are with you, and I'm giving them because if I only train only you, I did not extend my hand, they are going to be torn in your flesh. Either I'm alive, either I'm not alive. That's why I brought them to you to see their character, and that's why I'm treating everybody equally. So that one day or the other you may need their help. And they say if Nika is not okay, and their mother have done us well. So me to not like okay, let me also learn. Says I should learn how to live with people. That if it's only 2 of us that we grown up like that, we don't know how to live with other people. So a lot of people were living with us when I was growing up. And I know our my mother biological children. Some of them not 1, not 2, not 3. So they live with us so that when okay, we are not going to be only one. Then today we form a bond of families. Share you get it now? Yes. Because the mother I came from, you're able to be that. Share everything you have. In terms of giving, in terms of helping others, don't think of your own alone. Because you are the head, and when you are a head and you're not doing other things, so I'm able to learn it that no, let me also take care of other people, not only my own perspective. So if I don't have a mother that have that kind of mind, will I be able to get it? That is why I say parents influence the character of a parent. See, I mean I've not done those statistics scientifically or go and look at it. Any behavior a child is depicting, he learns from home. 75% of that behavior, forget about peer, all these peers, values, all that. No, 75% character of a child is from the parents. Because you are seeing what your parents is doing. So my advice, as we are going back to that advice, our parents should teach us values. A value that make us, because they have lived life, that will make us to see ahead. That please, this child I'm bringing up, I'm not going to be useful for myself, to be useful for the society and to be useful for the country as a whole.
Okay.
That's number one. Then number two,
yes,
people that have left their home.
Yes.
Number one, they should not forget they love their mother actively today.
Good.
Then number two, see, we that we are the only son.
Yes, sir.
Let me also emphasize on that
Good.
one.
Good.
We have to separate our marital life from the life of our mother. Because, to be sincere with you, our mother wanted to know, even if not 90% of what is happening to us. That is where maturity comes in.
Yeah.
And another thing, okay, if you give birth now, your mother will say, I want to come. Oh.
Yes.
Don't know the responsibility of your wife. And no, that's where the male child have issue. Two issues, I will tell you where a male child have issue is in two places: marital and property.
Yeah. And
I'll tell you how God helped me to solve it. I know the responsibility of my wife. I know the responsibility of my mother. Something cannot happen to me now. I say I'm telling my mother. Yeah. Because even when you don't tell your mother, mother will ask you.
Yes.
That's the challenge we have as only child, or only male child. If anything is going on in your marital life, even when you don't tell your mother will ask you. Your mother will ask you, my son, what is happening? But if you are not a matured man, you just say, my wife used to do and your mother, see, another time, mother will not support anybody. You are number one person they will say, even when you are the one that is wrong, they will not say it in the public. So that's where maturity has to come from. That's the challenge with the only male child have. When it comes to our mother want to dictate the whole for us. But as a male child, as a mature person, no responsibility of your mother, and don't carry your marital issue quickly to your mother. If the sense doesn't, you have seen each other. Because you look at we that we are only male child. We have marital issue. But if not God, that you have to separate that issue. This is my mother boundary, this is my wife boundary. That's number one. Then let me take another issue that we always have issue. In this African setup, and that's what we call envy among the male child. Thank God I'm here today. You see, if you come from where your father have property and you are the only male child, all your sisters are envying you. Because number one, they know, according to African culture, that male child is one that owns property. But how God help me. So when my father is about to die, he put me as number one person next of kin to share all the property for everybody. That time, God have saved my soul. I was praying that time. Normally, I'm supposed to take the highest share being a male child. And everything is in my hand. Documents, the paper, the property is in my hand. Property. I told the head of the family that I want to share that. No. My own property, let the property be shared accordingly. And the one that belongs to me, I said that my uncle should take it because he doesn't have anything. If not because of the wisdom that God gave me that time, I thank God for the wisdom.
Especially
because we came from polygamous home. It's not only my mother. So I thank God for that wisdom that God gave me that time. I told them, okay, it's true, the property is in my hand. The document is in my hand. But let's share it equally. Please, this is our uncle. I've been with my father for long. And he doesn't have.
So let him have.
Yeah, he doesn't have. We have a children that on my father's side, we have grown up. We are doing well. So, but this is my uncle. The one they gave me, I want to build up his own family. And today, everybody's living. But if I didn't know use that wisdom, then I'm the only son. And before you know it, spiritual attack everywhere, everything. Just to avoid it and make life better. So that's the two areas I wanted to share. When you invited me, like I said, I thank God, at least let me share experience I've learned. So that one, our marital issue and property in this aspect of life. You see that all the male child are dying, some people are dying, because if you only you collect that property, only you collect the land. Only you say you are the only one because you are the son, you are the one. You can't have that peace of mind. Do what is right. Share to everybody, and even you can take the list.
You know, last week we have coming to a conclusion gradually, but last week one of the tips that was given is that you should taught your only son to show empathy to others,
Yes.
especially to female gender. To show empathy to others, show love to others. In fact, thank God you are actually exhibited that during your time. You show love, you show that sympathy to others. And it's very important because it will reduce envy. Because the only son. Okay. It has been an interesting time spent together. We thank God for our guest has actually given us some tips for parents of only sons and even the only sons to also learn. And I believe you have learned a lot of tips. Parents as well as an only son out there. Thank you for staying with us to this end. Please remember to like, share, and also drop your comments at the comment section wherever you are watching us from. Anytime on those numbers 07034658458, 07034658458, and the second 08036499951, 08036499951. We would like to have you join us again. I remain DJ Muddi.